Pay close attention to this thing right here. That's not good. Good. Next time you pull it off, you'll be able to see if it's moved. Let's go ahead and do that to all 4 of these. Some grease or crud on this. This machine has 25 hours on it, so if you have one of these machines, this is the stuff you want to look for. I noticed when I was spinning that there was a distinct like clunk snap sound kind of sometimes, and that was like, all right, something's loose in here. So I had this machine for an entire month, and I took it on 4 different job sites, 4 different projects. This machine wasn't hassle-free, but again, for the money, if you're somewhat capable, I'd say it's worth it. What kind of person would I be if I saw a kid watching me run this thing and not give him a little bit of seat time, even if it's just driving it up to the trailer? All right, we're pretty good there. I mean, he just wanted to, he's got a basement sink. He just wanted to put a little, you know, gray water mini drain in there. Works pretty good. How could you start the day without stopping at the South Freeport Village Market? Got some pretty yummy cold brew. And their bagels, my favorite. An everything bagel, bacon, egg, and cheese with cream cheese on it. Oh. That is good. That's good stuff.
And he couldn't get off the street.
Really? I was blocked off?
He went out, he couldn't go down the driveway, he couldn't turn around and get out of here, had to back all the way out the whole street to get the hell out of the street. And they wouldn't renew his lease, so the writing's on the wall, he's not going to be there much longer.
Putting in a new step. Now, while I had this thing, there was a pretty big demand for digging up bushes and tree stumps. And I gotta say, this stuff is a lot more stubborn than you'd think. You really have to work around and go for the outside of the root ball and get that all broken up before you can get something out. I mean, this was a pretty big bush before it was cut down, so it looks a lot smaller here, but this took quite a while. If you were to do this by hand, it would take a real long time. Something Camerata taught me, if you're ever digging a hole and you're just trying to smooth something out in general, tracking back and forth over it really makes a nice smooth spot. There's nothing like buried over here I gotta worry about, Linda, is there? Okay, good. Well, there you go. Bushes no more. Made pretty good work of that. Looks way better.
So we're taking that pile, we're gonna bury it.
Over there? Yep.
Yep, and then somewhere probably bury it over here somewhere. And then filling in that over there with the septic.
Alright.
A few little odds and ends holes over there.
Push that back in there.
Yeah.
That's the actual cap.
Yep.
And then
Taking down that decrepit lavender tree.
So part of the deal with this borrowing this excavator is that I got to put a couple stickers on it for him. They're helping out the neighbor. I'll be alright, I won't hit that. But just dig up the bamboo?
Dig up the root, some of the root balls if you can get them. I don't know, man. Look how big they are. I dumped wood ash on them.
Yeah.
Thinking that would kill them out a little bit.
I get it. All right, we're all done. There's the spoils, this invasive bamboo shoot, whatever it is, we call it bamboo. I don't know the actual name, but it's very sneaky, and it's hard to get rid of. So helped him dig up all those roots. He's gonna plant grass here and then go ahead and mow it. So if he stays on top of it, it shouldn't come back. And I'm pretty happy with this thing. I'm gonna make sure I hose it off good so I don't carry any of it with me. But works good. Thing digs surprisingly well.
Yeah. You probably took it the wrong way. Yeah. Didn't like it. Felt uncomfortable and told somebody.
That sucks. Got my tachometer out. I'm gonna go ahead and just mark on the throttle where the ideal RPM is. 1600. Kind of like red line mark, I guess. The deal with this excavator was my buddy lets me borrow it on the condition that I give it a once over, make sure I check any loose bolts, give it a good greasing. I'm gonna give it a fluid change. Yeah, there's definitely metal in there. You see it, but this magnet's picking it up. Son of a... That's nice and slippery. I thought it would be. And just other little minor modifications that... be so bumpy now when I drive a truck through here. I did notice something. I just pulled the cover off. The swing motor bolts have already loosened up. This one right here is turned almost a quarter of a turn. Picked up some grade 8 bolts. They are slightly shorter. They're in and they're tight. So the other night I actually tried using it at night, and the light that comes with it is pretty bright. It's actually pretty nice. But one of the problems that I had was when you're spinning and turning, you know, you got to spin all the way around to see the area, which is kind of annoying. It's almost kind of dangerous too. Went on Amazon, bought some of these accent lights. I want to install these with the least destructive possible manner, because if Nick doesn't like them, you can just pull them off. I don't want to drill holes in things and do stuff like that. So I'm committed now. I already cut the harness, so. Now, when you're operating and you turn and you're in the dark, you can actually see what's right beside you, so you don't smack into anything. Main headlight, and you get these side headlights and these back headlights. One of the problems I encounter a lot while I'm working on stuff in the driveway is I've got all these big rocks poking up, and it makes it annoying when you're trying to set a jack stand down or you're lying on a piece of plywood and the plywood's all unbalanced. So You're so silly. Silly girl. She's been watching me play. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Bless you. Alright. So as you can see, I dug up all the big rocks and smoothed out the holes. Now it's not super smooth yet, but give this a couple of rainstorms and this will look just like undisturbed ground. For under $5 being able to do what this thing will do, it's pretty awesome. I'm impressed. I like it. For anybody trying to market services with one of these, I think a good niche is coming in below what it would cost to rent one from Home Depot, which is like everybody's go-to, oh, I'll go rent one. But you're gonna spend $300 or $400. If you tell somebody $100 an hour, 2-hour minimum, they're usually tickled if you can get what they need done for $200. All right, we're all loaded up. Taking the root balls with me. We are here today, we're planning a French drain. Basically an L around the house off to a little basin down on the low point. And we're just marking it out for dig safe to come. Good morning. Oh, we got a low battery already. Today's the day. We are all loaded up and we are going to head to the job site to do a French drain. This will be my very first French drain. I'm pretty excited. The lady's getting a pretty good deal, I think. I'm okay with that because it's a friend, and then also I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I know what I'm doing because I've been watching videos and stuff, but wish me luck. I'm gonna get some breakfast and then roll up. All right, so here we are, first day of the job, and this is what we are gonna do. We've got a septic tank here with a septic box, so I gotta be careful of that. This septic tank right here actually cuts at a 45 and goes over to the high spot on the lawn over there where the leach field is. So we need to be careful because there's some septic piping in this general area. And then across the front here, we're actually going to try to go just on the outside of the hot top, and then on this side of the garden. We're going to start with cleaning this area up here to get it ready to excavate. So we gotta look and find this water main. That's what we've been searching for. So I don't want to hit that, so I do want to clean up around here. Whoops. A lot of work. I'm starting to think I bit off more than I can chew. For real, this is like nuts. Get out of here. Come back tomorrow after my grandma's funeral. Alright guys, the internet has ruined me. Here's the dilemma. Been on yesterday working on that trench, down on there shoveling out, not even thinking about trench collapse. I don't know why I air quoted that, but trench collapse. I wasn't thinking about it at all. Go home, proud of what I did, share a photo with somebody, and a bunch of people commented and said, dude, you're crazy. Don't ever go down into a trench like that. You could die. And then spent all night freaking out watching trench collapse videos, and I'm like, oh my God. Now I don't want to go back in there. Good looking, Jeremy. Nice. There's the water line. We gotta go underneath that. You're doing good.
It's so small.
I know, it is small. That's what she said, I mean.
Oh, it's average.
It's an average size water line. This guy over here yesterday decided to stop moving. It was a hydrostatic transmission. He kept like driving really slow with it, and I was like, dude, you just go full fast. I feel like if you're just like easing through it, you're gonna burn it up. That makes me feel better. It was just hot. Go ahead and run a grade string here. And we got a fresh load of stone. So we're back here at night. It's like dusk right now. This is an idea Andrew told me about. Basically, you buy one of these $22, $23 laser levels. They're automatic self-leveling lasers. And you come back at dusk, and then you shoot the laser at dusk so you can see and mark. Basically, just take stakes and go along and mark your grade. You see that? Yeah. There you go. There's a spot. Alright, we're back on it. So the plan's changed a little bit. Last night I was down here with that laser. I shot off some lines so I could get grade level from the corner there. Hit the water table. So that is like 56 inches to the water. With the slope down here and everything, I only have to be about 30 something inches deep. So I gotta fill some of this back in here. What we're gonna end up doing is down here, I'm gonna fill some of this in, and then we're just gonna dig a square out and put some rock in there as like a basin. So we had a track pop off. This would be the first time ever on this machine. Driving in all this rock is pretty rough with these little tracks. They do not like it. We're at 66 hours and track popped off finally. Some play, but it ain't rubbing. Well, second load of rock showed up. I don't think this is 18 yards though. It looks smaller than the rock pile yesterday. So don't know what to think about that. What do you think? You think this is 18 yards of crushed 1.5 inch? Well, we're gonna go ahead and start moving it around. So I noticed a noise while I was tracking. New noise. Look at this front cog. Thing super loose. It is not like that on the other side. I gotta say, after putting about 30 hours on this thing, I was getting pretty smooth. I feel like I could thread a needle with it now. One of the techniques too is you kind of want to have two operations going at once, even if you don't really need to. Just bleeding off that extra pressure makes it less jerky. Well, the weather's a little bad today, but today's probably the last day on the job. Fingers crossed. Essentially what we need to do is scoop up this rock and get the rest of the rock over here to cover the top of the French drain, but mainly to cover the pipe for the gutters. And then we're gonna flatten this all out too. Hey, what's up?
Are you videoing?
Yeah. What, are you naked?
No.
No? Okay, good. So this little cart is pretty beat up. And I literally drove it till the wheels fell off, because the wheels just about to fall off. Somehow the washer and the cotter pin there gone MIA, so. Well, I had one more thing to do before I brought this back, and of course it decided to completely break. So essentially right now I'm stuck in like a quarter of a swing, because if you look down here, the swing motor, there's a nub on the base of the swing motor right here that won't cross over the frame. This thing's got 60 hours on it. Swing motor's broke, front pulley's broke. All right, here we are, guys. Project is all done. I put these little caps in, these little inspection ports, so that you can you have to, if there's a problem, you can get an inspection camera down there and see what's going on. We did throw in a gutter drain because they're planning on putting gutters on the front to help also. French drain comes this way. I mean, you saw in the video when it kind of angles over here. And then we just kind of did like a 6x8 hole and put a bunch of rock in there and then wrapped it up, and the pipe empties out into that rock. They're gonna take it from here and do the finish work on the top. It was a pretty good experience. It was the first time French drain for me. It was also my first time digging to max depth with that QH12. Overall, I'll say those little Chinese mini excavators, they're capable. I'm surprised that the idler bearing on the pulley went bad, and I'm also surprised that the swivel motor, swing motor, or whatever it is, I'm not sure if it dropped the shaft or if that bolt just backed out of the gear. So if you're on the fence about getting one of these Chinese mini excavators, they do work and they do things, and they may not be the best machine and they may break a little earlier than other machines might, but as you can see, I've done a wide range of things with that one that Nick lent me for a month, and it's definitely a cool little piece of machinery. So I put about 40 hours on it. When I brought it back, I had about 65 hours on it. That swing motor problem ended up being the bolt backing out of the gear. So if we would have caught that earlier and just put some Loctite on it, wouldn't have been an issue. And then the bearings on the idler, those ended up being like $100 to get that fixed, which wasn't so bad. And he did buy this directly from AGT. He reached out to them and they offered him like a $400 store credit towards the warranty repair costs. They actually they told him they'd buy him an idler, and then they were like, oh, we can't find any. But he ended up getting a ripper and a toothless bucket for free, basically, from their website. So that was kind of cool. But there really is no part support. This thing came warranted for a year, and they were like, oh yeah, we can't do anything to fix it for you, but we'll send you a free bucket. So just keep that in mind if you're someone looking to buy one of these. Overall, I'd say it's definitely worth it. If you're mechanically inclined or you know somebody who's handy, you're gonna be fine. I could have easily have billed out $5,000 worth of work with this the time that I had it, and it probably would have paid for itself. So is it as nice as a Kubota? No. Will it get things done for cheap? Yes. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'd give it a passing grade. Like and subscribe. Thanks.